Welcome to Going the Distance. Thanks for stopping by. Hope the next few minutes are helpful. You probably have a bank account or two, right? So you understand the process of making deposits in order to allow for those inevitable withdrawals. This is also the case in relationships. Making deposits in our partner's love tank is one of the most important daily things that we can do. It requires having their best interests in mind, and it typically increases our own happiness. Pastor John Timmer tells a delightful little story adapted from an old Jewish tale about the rewards of such generosity. Once upon a time, two brothers lived side by side. One was married and had 7 children. The other was not married. These two brothers shared a farm. Because both brothers worked hard and the soil was good and the weather was right, the harvests were rich. Each year, the brothers would divide the harvest evenly. Each would get 1/2 of the grain and store it in a separate barn. One night, the unmarried brother could not go to sleep. He kept thinking about his married brother and his 7 children. He told himself, it just isn't right that each of us should get half of the grain. My brother has a big family and needs the grain more than I do. So each night, the unmarried brother took some of the grain stored in his barn and secretly carried it to his brother's barn. That same night, the married brother, too, could not sleep. He kept thinking about his unmarried brother. He told himself, it just isn't right that each of us should get half of the grain. I have 7 children, and when I grow old, they'll look after me, but my brother is all by himself, and when he grows old, he has no one to look after him. Surely he needs more grain now to save for later. So each night, the married brother took some of the grain stored in his barn and secretly carried it to his brother's barn. Each night, the two brothers would give away some of their grain, and each morning they would find that they still had the same amount of grain as before. And they would wonder, how could this be possible? Well, one night, the two brothers met each other halfway between the barns. At once, they realized what had been happening. Then they hugged each other with laughter and tears. Touching and inspiring story, isn't it? Making deposits in other people, especially our spouses, actually increases serotonin. That's a hormone that's linked to happiness and well-being. Would you join me in making daily deposits in your spouse's life if you haven't already? You'll be happier, and so will your spouse. So, come on, let's do this. Let's go the distance together.